We're live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the finals episode of Slumber. Welcome to the show. So with this episode 8 to our 8-episode Liminal Horror miniseries, you've made it to the finale, and you can meet us after the break for some Bad House announcements. For our usual content warnings on this show, you can find them at !SCW. Cast command is !Slumbercast, and a little summary of the show can be found at !Slumber. For channel points, you can help our dreamers with 3,000 channel points for a -1 on their rolls that will unfortunately disappear after the end of every episode. In Liminal Horror, -1s are very good because they need to roll below their stats. And so this being the last episode, might as well get those points in now, right? I am Oleander, using they them pronouns. You can find me places at Stray Nerd Boy, and I'm the game master for the evening. I'm gonna throw it over to Joe.
Hello, everyone. I am Josephine at Scary Dog Friend. I'll be playing Honey, local everyday dream guide she-wolf, and we're just gonna have like a calm and peaceful time. I think it'll be okay. Passing it over to Abhishek.
Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Batange, he, him pronouns. I play Layla Patel, our badass, gun-wielding, perfect, flawless in every way in every way, shape, or form. Don't mind the blood coming out of her hands model. She's ready to put an end to this. Yeah. And I'll pass it over to Sean.
What's up, everybody? I'm here, queer and full of fear. My name is Sean. I go by he, him pronouns, and you can find me everywhere at High Gain Sad. Today is Tyler's last ride, so we'll see if he makes it out. And I will throw it over to Kendo.
Hey, everybody. My name is Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer. And once more, I'm here with the only person with any sense in their head, body, or soul, Dr. James Dunnington. And if something happens to my son, I'm gonna freak out.
They're not your son.
And that doesn't mean I can't call them that in my in my mind.
True, I suppose.
You can't stop me from having a son in my mind.
I guess I cannot. Joe, is there any giveaway news today?
Yes. So it is going to be the very last time that you can enter into the Slumber giveaway for 6 physical sets. This is the last physical set giveaway that we got. Let me go ahead and turn this bitch on. So again, use !Sandman to enter the chance to win a physical set of 6 official Liminal Horror modules from Goblin Archives themselves. Their update for the Liminal Horror Deluxe Edition is, again, you can find that information using this link. There are many cool updates for the backer kit that's going on, so make sure to go ahead and check that out. Again, lots of fun liminal horror stuff going on at Bad House RPG as well, so stay tuned. Take it away, Oleander.
All right, everyone. Let's sink in to slumber for the final time. At 7:43 p.m., on an otherwise ordinary Wednesday evening, the entirety of Crescent Valley City fell asleep in what we now refer to as the slumber. Dreamers began to wake up one by one sometime later to find their city warped by the nightmares of the public consciousness. Their confusion led them toward a Catholic church where one of them died, but the rest succeeded in freeing Myriad, a dream guide, from the shepherd's stained glass grasp. Myriad tells them that they are free to leave if they wish, but the only way to free Crescent Valley from the Slumber is to go straight to the source of the problem, the Clover Corporation. After a while, everyone agreed to head straight there. They rose through the levels of the skyscraper that makes the highest peak in Crescent Valley City. The dreamers witnessed bodies being put to work in their sleep by a supervisor that aimed to extinguish the spirit. During the scuffle, another dreamer, one they had not met before, emerged from the cubicles, and due to the panic, that dreamer ended up dead. Tyler Crow shot him, having been filled with desperation to find their sister, who was revealed to be upstairs, and uncertainty over whether or not this new stranger was on their side. Dr. James Dunnington was the one who picked up the dead man's walkie-talkie and told whoever was on the other line that their friend was dead. Honey sunk her teeth into the supervisor's spectral head, and later was the first to attempt to comfort Tyler when they found their sister's unconscious body. And Layla is the one who slew the supervisor, angered by its attempts to force shame upon her soul, reclaiming her power. The dreamers met the man behind it all, Dr. Ritchson, a rogue scientist for the Clover Corporation that discovered how to access the dreamscape with technology. The bosses wanted to water it down and use it for mass profit, but Ritchson selfishly wanted to use it to make his dreams come true. Seeing hesitance to join him, in our dreamers, Dr. Ritchson dove through one of the doors here on one of the residential floors of the Clover Corp. Now, our dreamers find themselves standing in a hallway that would be empty if not for the bodies of sleeping people that have been pulled from their residences, and the sleeping body of Harper Crow, Tyler's sister, and an employee in this building. The door Dr. Ritchson dove through radiates golden light so bright you cannot see the interior through the doorway. You all don't have his key card, meaning you can't go upstairs and turn off the machine until you catch him. So that brings us to now. The four of you, and Myriad, stand in the doorway. How's everyone feeling?
Bad.
I think without much thought, Honey does attempt to just run after him unless anyone stops her.
I think Layla would try to stop her.
How do you
As
try to
much as
stop
you would
her?
like to run in there. Look, I get it. I would love nothing more than to chase that asshat down and get his key card. But we need a plan.
The more planning, obviously, this guy's gonna get out of here.
Look, it doesn't have to be like a complex plan. I'm just saying we need some kind of plan. Even a basic one will do. But definitely running in there half-cocked and just impulsive will fucking get us killed.
What about full cocked?
You need to stop.
Here if you need me. Sorry.
Myriad.
We have no idea what's on the other side. Like, maybe, actually, no, maybe you might. And she's gonna turn to Myriad.
Myriad takes a step forward and passes their hand through the wall of golden light in front of the door, and then stops and looks at their hand for just a moment and goes, "These rooms contain dreams, not nightmares. Like all of the positive energy of this city is here, in these rooms. If you pass through these doors, well, you'll probably see something amazing. And, well, I'll try to guide you from falling into it, but I wouldn't trust it.
So it's going to try to show us stuff we want in order to
Tempt you.
tempt us into
Likely staying here.
in the dream world.
Essentially. Well, in these portions of the dream world that are up here in these rooms, while everyone else suffers below.
Do you think that we'll be able to remember that these are just dreams in the moment?
I will be there to try to guide you out if you fall for it. If I can find you.
Does
It's my
anyone
job.
have like a marker on them? And like James starts patting like his pockets down, trying to see.
Patting down your pockets, looking for a marker. Oh,
I do in my inventory. I have a notebook and pen.
hey, yeah, you got a pen. You can write stuff.
Okay, can we say that this pen is like thick and dark enough for it
Like
to
a-
like if I
like
were
a
to write on
Sharpie?
my like if I were to write it on my hand, I'd be able to see.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, I'm gonna write on my hand, "This is a dream," and then I'm just going to say, "All right, everybody." Unless it changes our bodies and what we look like, this might be a helpful reminder. And I pass it to Tyler.
Tyler takes it, and he draws like a frowny face on the back of his hand, and then he passes the pen.
Okay. Are you sure that you're going to remember what that means?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we are going into a dream world. That is going to fuck with their minds. I just want to make sure that whatever we're choosing to write
If
is
there's some
clear.
kind of supernatural power that is so strong it can alter our brain chemistry, I don't think that the thing that is going to stop it is the English language.
Have you seen Memento?
I have seen Inception, and I feel like that makes more sense in this context.
No, Memento. He forgets things and he writes it on
But
his body.
Inception's
So he
the
can
dream
remember.
one.
Yeah, but the thing that I'm doing is about writing, reading, and remembering what those things are.
What if I just had like a little top?
I don't. Yeah, bud.
Oh, what did you say, honey?
Whoops, sorry. I just go, boys, let's stay on track. Writes down "This is a dream" on her hand and passes it to Layla.
Layla will take it. She'll write down "This is a dream." Pause for a second. And she's also going to write Harlan's name on her hand.
Aww.
Yeah. Alright. Now what?
Well, all that's left is to step through the door.
Do you have to split apart again?
Yes. And you watch Myriad, who has been, as
Whole
Kendo
twink.
has informed me out of character, is a sheep twink.
Well, not just Kendo.
We were all thinking that.
Kendo was the first to say it. You watch them glow a golden light themselves, And then you watch that golden light shrink down into a ball and then split until you see 4 golden sheep in front of you. And one by one, each sheep hops into the golden light.
Let's go.
Who goes through the door first?
Honey.
And next?
Tyler.
Layla.
And then Dr. James last.
I suppose so.
All right. And so first Honey, then Layla, then Tyler, then Dr. James. Each and every one of you pass through the golden light. And it's not like what it was when you step through that leap of faith when you met the shepherd earlier. There's no sensation of falling, the sensation of fear and unpleasant heat that you felt that day is, well, that moment. It's nothing like that. It's like you are being enveloped in a hug, like your hand is being held, like you're being walked down the street by a loved one. And we're going to start with Dr. James. Dr. James Dunnington. You wake up sitting at the counter in your kitchen of your beautiful home that's been passed down in your family for generations. You can smell your dinner cooking in the oven, just like you did before. And you find yourself stirring as the light of the sun comes in through the window, as if to say, rise and shine. Unlike before, you're not laying in a pool of wine. You can see the bottle sitting perfectly on top of the counter. And your wonderful beef dish still cooking on the stove. You're home.
I stir for a bit, slowly coming to my senses. And it's like that first moment, right, when you wake up from a terrible nightmare of, like, it takes a while for your eyes to focus in the light, and, like, just the slow, like, remembering details of something that feels so odd and strange. And I think the smelling of my wonderful meal is, like, what really finally, like, pulls me, like, out to, like, kind of sit up in the chair and look around. And I think my hands are, like, flat on the table, and there's this, like, I know I need to look. God, I hope that was a dream. I hope all of it was such a fucking terrible, horrible nightmare. But it was just that. But if what I remember from it is true, maybe it's not a nightmare. Or at least not one that I was asleep for. My hand should let me know.
But before you can look at it, you hear a voice from around the corner in your home. You hear the sound of your TV in your living room on. You hear the sound of a laugh. The laugh of a child.
The sound shocks me in a way that I didn't think I could be. And I get up from my chair and almost drawn to it, like 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 a sailor to a siren. I slowly walk towards the sound of the voice.
And as you do, you leave this kitchen, you come around the corner, and you look around the wall, and you see the back of your couch, and you see the head of the younger version of your child watching TV. What type of show do you think they'd be watching?
God. I mean, if they were younger, right? They're
Think like
in my
12.
present. They're 20. Okay, so 12. God. 11 years ago. 2014. What anime was popular in 2014?
I guess My Hero Academia.
God, I hope not.
Attack on Titan,
Oh,
maybe?
you know what? No, they're watching Haikyuu.
Haikyuu. And so you come around the corner and you see the back of your child's head watching Haikyuu, this wonderful little volleyball show about the future that these children all hope for and the potentials that they have. This is home.
I think I just, without a word, I walk around the couch and I don't even look at them. I'm just, my eyes glued to the television. More out of fear than awe or curiosity. And I sit down next to them, stiffly. There's everything here should be a comfort and warm, but there is a lingering, this feels wrong. I shouldn't have this.
And as you have this thought, we're gonna jump over to Honey. Honey, you wake up laying in bed, the light coming in through the window, saying rise and shine. And as your eyes shift down to the mattress, your bed is made of stacks and stacks and stacks of $100 bills. You look out at the rest of the room. You're living in luxury. There's a big TV that's currently playing the news, footage from the last crime you pulled off successfully. What do you think that would be?
I think it had to have been burglarizing an important, counselor, political administrator of sorts, his own home while a banquet was happening. It was so risky. It was so impressive, but we managed to get right in, and we were just robbing it as the party was happening.
The acts of a phantom thief. And as this TV plays this footage recounting the glory that you weren't caught, that the thieves managed to get away. You look over and you see your bathroom door swung open, and in the bathtub, a pool full of jewels and diamonds and necklaces of all kind. This is home. How are you feeling?
Good. As much as money does go away, as much as you pawn off jewelry, I'm probably gonna have to have my own knife fight about who's going to be keeping a certain necklace or something along those lines with the other thieves that are in here. Roscoe. We'll be fighting over something. That's the annoying part. Is this hilarious code of conduct between criminals and the way that we carry our own bureaucracy? But in this moment right now, laying on top of all these itchy bills, thousands of other people having touched it, knowing that it's mine right now just feels amazing.
And as you bask in that moment, we're gonna shift over to Layla. Layla,
Oh boy.
you just walked in the door of a massive little banquet. You just got back from rocking the biggest fashion show of your life. And as the doors swing open, flashing lights fill your eyes as camera flashes go off saying, "Rise and shine, Layla." And people scream your name as you come in, and you can see one of your friends over at the bar in the corner waving you over, another model that you met some time ago. And you can just tell that everyone in this room is pouring out nothing but love for you. Your friend waves you over towards the bar, and she hands you an espresso martini. A perfect one. The glass sits perfectly in your hand. The 3 coffee beans sit perfectly in the center of it. The proportions of it, you can tell, are going to be the perfect amount of vodka to coffee liquor that you would have wanted. Your friend goes, "Oh my God, Layla! Congratulations on your new work. I love everything you've been doing recently." And Layla, in a perfect world, what would that recent work be that would fill Layla's heart with pride?
I think in a perfect world for Layla, it would most likely be one of 2 things, if not both, honestly, considering how hectic models' lives can be. But if she was at her peak of stardom and power and like influence and whatnot, it would have been definitely walking the runway at like a Paris fashion show, and a front cover spread on Vogue.
Yeah, and as you think these things, you're like, that cover on Vogue was absolutely amazing. How'd you meet the photographer?
Oh, I mean, you just meet them here and there, networking and all that. I mean, it's not really that hard when they just come up to me and just ask to take my pictures. I mean, it's me after all.
Mm-hmm. And as you have these outpourings of love around you, you see eventually someone walks up to you and holds out like a bouquet of flowers as a congratulation for your recent show. How is Layla feeling with all this outpouring of love?
Honestly, on top of the world. She feels like this is where she should be. Like everything, every sort of like, it's funny because like when she stepped in, she almost felt like she woke up from a bad dream of her having lost everything, being brought down so low, scandals, the whatnot, and just, now she's sort of like, you know what, no, this is right, I'm back where I'm supposed to be, everyone loves me, everyone, of course they love me, and I'm just right at the top where I naturally should be, so I don't see anything wrong with this at all. And so she'll like take the bouquet of flowers and just like accept them and just, cherish them, quote unquote cherish them.
And as you enjoy your moment, your espresso martini, and your bouquet of flowers, we shift one more time to Tyler. Tyler, you find yourself waking up in the passenger seat of a car, watching the road fly by, music pumping through the speakers, and as you look around, you see your sister driving. You can feel friends in the back seat. Your grogginess from your face against the glass as is pulled away as the sunlight beams off of the mirror as if to say, rise and shine, as it blasts you in the eyes. You're on a road trip with friends in a place that you belong. What kind of music do you think they're all singing along to?
Thoroughfare by Ethel Cain is playing as we're all on the highway, and I feel like it is me in the seat, in the passenger seat with Harper driving, and our friends in the back seat are people that we met in community at the local queer bar, and are kind of just all processing our religious trauma together.
And it's been lovely. And this trip that you're taking out to a nice place, a nice getaway from Crescent Valley City, just for a weekend. You, one of them reaches up and taps you on the shoulder as they notice you're awake, and they're like, "Oh, do you want any of the snacks from the back?"
Yeah. And he like thinks to himself, and like he's as he looks at this person, he's having that moment of like that you have when you see somebody in a dream where you're like, I don't like recognize your face, but I know who you are just kind of instinctively. And I feel like he, for the first time in a very long time, has maybe ever like has a sense of belonging.
And as you bask in that sense of belonging, every single one of you can hear this little interruption to your dreams as a voice enters your mind. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Edgar Allan Poe. Right, Doctor? You know, after a life of constant tragedy and heartache, he was actually about to get his happily ever after in the end. Reconnected with his childhood sweetheart, they fell back in love, got engaged. And a week before the wedding, he was found in a gutter. I unfortunately relate a lot to the man, aside from the last part. It wasn't me found dead in a gutter. Happy endings are out of question in our world, but not the next. These rooms that you're all in condense all of the positive energy of the dreamscape of Crescent Valley. Here in one place. Sure, everything outside these few residential levels are stuck with all the nightmares, but that's what life has always been. We don't have to fight each other. I'm asking you to stay here with me in the clouds and enjoy the fruits of your labor. The lives you've earned after what I'm sure has been a lifetime of hard work with no payoff. You deserve to enjoy yourselves. And I'm gonna jump back to Dr. James. James, you are sitting on the couch next to your child, watching Haikyuu with them right next to you, and you've not turned to look at them yet. You hear this voice from Dr. Ritchson play through your mind, them being transparent with you, that you are in a dream, but giving you the option that you can stay here. You can hear a knocking at the window. And as you look over towards the sliding glass door that leads to your yard, you can see a little golden sheep standing at the doorway. And you know your child is to your left. Which do you choose?
I let out a sigh and kind of roll my eyes as I see the sheep. Yeah. And I get up and I turn away from my kid and I walk towards the windows or the sliding door leading outside. And I hold my hand on its handle for like a little too long. And without turning, yeah, I think I just call out, "I love you, Flynn." And I open the door. "What took you so fucking long?"
And as you say that to Myriad goes, "You're not in the clear yet." And you can hear snap, 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 crackle from behind you as things creak in place, like listening to bones snapping and rearranging themselves. That's not your kid behind you. And I'm gonna jump over to Layla. Layla Patel. You find yourself espresso martini in hand, enjoying your night here at this wonderful banquet. And you hear that voice in your head. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. You hear it give you the option, tell you you're not in your world right now. You're in a piece of another. And this is a place where you can have what you wanted, and they're not going to lie to you, they're going to give you the option. As you are standing at, like, let's say like the top of a set of stairs, looking over the party below, you see this fashion designer who you've always wanted to work with, slowly walking up the stairs toward you, step after step, with a smile on their face, locking eyes with you. But off in the distance, at the front entrance that you came through, you see, just barely, a golden sheep down at the floor, between people's legs, where you can barely see them, trying to get to you. What do you choose?
I think upon hearing the voice, it sort of slightly shocks Layla out of her reverie for a bit. It sort of gives her like that reality check that makes her sort of remember, right, the whole Clover Corp, all that, everything. I think that's when she looks down at her hand, reading the words that she wrote on with the pen, but then focusing on Harlan's name. And she sort of looks down at his name on her palm, looks back up at the fashion designer, at the sheep that's trying to make its way towards me. Just lets out a large sigh. Yes, this is what she wanted. All the love, praise, adoration that she had before. She would love nothing more than to have that again. Don't get it wrong. But rolling over has never really been Layla's style. And she'd like to think it's part of why Harlan liked her so much. As she's sort of making the decision to walk down the stairs towards the sheep, it almost feels like you could swear that she feels someone push her, like gently push her down the stairs. And when she looks back, just for a brief moment, she could swear she sees Harlan. Dressed in like very fine finery, like a very tailored suit, avant-garde, fantabulous fashion, but it's almost like he's glitching between how he looks in like this very tailored suit to his bloodied and mutilated corpse when she discovered him at the church. Seeing that, she sort of just gives like this wolfish smirk, or this cocksure smirk that she's very that she's given to a lot of the other people. Sort of her settling back into herself and like, all right, fine, I get it. Yeah, it wouldn't be me if I rolled over now like this, would I? All right, this one's for you, Harlan. And she'll walk past the designer that's coming towards her to meet her. As she does so, she'll sort of, that outfit that she was wearing in this make-believe gala, this very, very designer dress and like accessories, jewelry sort of fade, go back to the outfit that she was wearing during the shopping spree, finally coming to her hands, becoming bloodied again as she makes her way over towards Myriad.
And as you walk past the fashion designer, you hear them gasp. You hear all these other people who watched you do that gasp. How could you walk past them? How can you turn them down? And as you approach Myriad turns and tells you, "We need to get out of here fast." and
Yeah, no
you can
shit.
see all of the eyes of the people in this room with you slowly beginning to turn red.
Great.
And as you and Myriad begin to move, we're gonna jump over to Tyler. Tyler, sitting in this car with your sister, with these people in your back seat, a snack in hand, Ethel Kane playing on the radio, looking at the road fly by and a sense of belonging washing over you. You were given an option from the voice above. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Do you choose to stay here? You see your friend, this person that you met at a bar behind you. Not a bar, queer bar is what you said. Behind you, hand you up your favorite snack. What would that be?
I think it's just like cheese doodles. It's something like super simple. No, you know what? We're on a road trip, so it's combos.
And as they hand that up toward you, you see Myriad ahead, standing on the road, waiting for your car to pass.
I think that he sees that, and I think that he just looks over at Harper, and he just says, "Why didn't you come find me?"
And what do you think? What do you think Harper would say in your most positive dream?
I think the reason that he asks that is because he doesn't know what she would say. And I think in order for this to feel real enough, he has to get an answer.
And as you look at the road ahead of you, look back and see Myriad standing on the side of the road, and you look back at Harper, and Harper, hands on the steering wheel, turns ever so slightly to look at you. And then brings her eyes back to the road and just goes, "I don't know."
And I think Tyler at that just kind of sighs and says, "That's what I thought." And he just opens the door and tumbles out across the side of the highway.
And as you jump, eventually you tumble onto the ground, and Myriad runs up toward you and goes, "We've got to go now." And as you have that thought cross your mind, you can feel the unbearable sound of a car's horn rumbling through the wind. And finally, honey, you hear a knock at the door while you're laying in your bed full of money. You hear a knock at the door, and you hear Roscoe's voice. "Hey, honey, we've got a visitor out here."
A visitor? Like, what are they looking like?
Kinda nondescript, to be honest. They have a job.
Huh. Okay. Let's check it out. And then I begrudgingly get out of my bed of money, and I go towards. Is this like a hotel of some kind, like a?
It's like a luxury penthouse in a
Got it.
hotel.
Okay. Just sort of languish in the few seconds that I have left before I open the door.
And as you do, you see, as what was described to you, a very nondescript person walk up to you. And they go, I know you deal a lot in the illegal. And this is a very nice place. Seems like you like it lavish. We have a job. And they hold out a folder. And when you see, and the folder's already open, and you can see the faces of Dr. James Dunnington, Tyler, and Layla. And they go, we need you to take one out.
Only one? I could probably do all of these schmucks.
Can you? There'd be a higher paycheck. And as those words that you heard in your mind earlier, all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. You look down at this folder with these names, a promise of more money to take out all three, a promise that you'll get to live out your dreams up here in Clover Court, in the residential areas. And you do see, out on the balcony, behind this person, a golden sheep standing on the balcony. What do you choose, honey?
She looks down at her hand. This is a dream. And the hilarity of her forgetting, despite her being the one to ask, to wonder if we would forget. Myriad's on the balcony.
Yeah, all you have to do is walk past this guy.
She begins to step back, but of course, naturally, there is very much this double take, this thing where she looks back to the person at the door, keeps trying to walk backwards. She takes a longer time than this social interaction is certainly the strangest thing, just wordlessly walking back and then looking and then walking back and looking. She could kill all of these people. She could live out a wonderful dream. But then I think she finally goes to the balcony.
And as you open the balcony door, you hear Myriad say, we have to jump.
What?
And as you hear that, you hear the sound of wings unfurl behind you as the person whose job you refuse to take drops their coat. And at that, we're gonna go to a break.
Okay, we'll see you in very soon. Remember to make sure !Sandman will sign you in for the giveaway for the physical set of official Liminal horror modules. There are 6. We'll see you in 10:15. We're back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finale of Slumber. You all, last we were here, witnessed our dreamers go through one last temptation and all make a choice of whether or not they would play along or they would leave with their dream guide, Myriad. And everyone chose to go towards Myriad. We are going to start with Tyler. Tyler, last we saw you, you were diving out of a moving car on a long road, and Myriad told you to run, and you heard the sound of a car horn fill the air behind you, and Myriad has taken off toward essentially you are now off like a beaten path running through a field, essentially.
He's booking it, trying to keep up with Myriad, and all of the cigarettes he has smoked tonight are definitely making that hard for him.
Mm-hmm. And so as you're booking it, you hear that horn of a car fill the air behind you once more. And you can hear the sound of... It doesn't sound... There's like a long, sustained dragging that tires kind of make when they drive off of off-road, essentially. And so you would expect to hear the sound of tires running over twigs, running over branches, running over anything that it could potentially bump into, dislodging soil, but you don't hear tires doing such a thing. You just hear the horn coming after you. As you run, go ahead and make me a roll, dexterity, to see if you go before or after whatever this is.
That is a 9, and my dexterity is an 11.
All right, so you rolled below, so you'll get to go first. Myriad points out a barn that you can see off in the distance, and is like, "We just need to get there. That's the next exit." And begins running ahead. You look down and you have all of your equipment from before you entered the door on your person. What do you do? The frowny face.
So I am running as quick as I can, and against my better judgment, as I'm running, I look over my shoulder to see what exactly is coming after me.
As you look over your shoulder, you see that the car that you were just in has swerved off of the road, but its tires do not reach the ground. Instead, they hang down like limp legs as the doors swing open like wings, keeping it floating in the air as the engine revs beneath it. And when you look through the glass, you don't see your sister. You don't see those false friends that your mind tried to bring to you. You just see cold, dark eyes looking right back at you.
Yeah, I don't even... what do you do to that? He's just running.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all he can do. I'm just gonna beat feet to this barn as fast as I can.
All right, so you're beating feet. You are legging it, as the British would say, across the field, putting all of your attention towards gaining distance. And you hear the sound of the horn sound again, filling the air around you as the vehicle swoops in, and you can feel the shadow block the light above you, resulting in a sudden feeling of cold as the car is above you. and you watch as you look down at the shadow and you see the torso of a being dropping down from the car, like hanging out from the car, reaching hands toward you. And so out of the corner of your eye, as you look up from the shadow on the ground, you see a hand dangling down from the car, attempting to grab onto your shoulder. I'm going, oh, well, this is liminal horror, so I forgot. Auto hits. This is going to target your strength as it's this high up. That is going to be 3 damage to your strength. As you feel the claw of whatever this creature dangling from this demon car reach down and scratch across your chest as you attempt to run. As that is happening, as that round completes, let's go ahead and jump over to Dr. James Dunnington. You have just been told that that's not your son. You hear the bones cracking. You hear the sound of flesh tearing. The door is open, and Myriad stands before you and turns and points toward the same back wall that you jumped over to escape the meat wife in episode 1.
I remember meat wife.
And Myriad goes, "We have to get away. Let's go."
Is the direction that Myriad is trying to take me, is it out of the house or is it back into the house?
It's out of the house, across the lawn, and then you'll have to jump a wall.
Okay, then yeah, I want, like, with no hesitation, just starts legging it, as the British would say, across the lawn and over to the wall, refusing to even look back to see what monstrosity the nightmares have made of his loved ones.
I'm going to ask you to make me a dexterity roll to see if you go before or after the creature.
Okay, that is a 6 out of 16.
So you will act first. You run.
I run.
And so you book it and you make it to the wall. And now all you have to do is climb over the wall to get to the other side. But as you make it that far distance, putting all of your effort to just making it across the lawn to that wall, it is now the creature's turn. And you can hear slink, 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 as it clatters across the lawn. You can hear something sharp sinking into the grass, into the soil, following behind you. And the way it snicks across the ground, it almost sounds like you can hear 4 legs chasing you. And it is going to attempt to stab you.
I wish it wouldn't.
Don't we wish? You are, oh right, again, liminal horror. I gotta roll for it.
Please.
You are going to take that is going to be 5 damage. That would target your, oh, you have hit protection from resting, actually, and you have armor. You were one of the people with armor, so that's actually going to reduce it to you only take 4 damage.
And then my hit protection absorbs all of that.
Yeah, and so you manage to what does it look like as you manage to just barely resist being stabbed.
I think, and it's like, because it's coming from behind me, I think it is like, I think it might just be as simple as like listening like to the shinking into everything to try to get a sense of like, okay, if it's going to try to like get me, it'll probably lunge or make like some kind of like movement that sounds like it's like there is a preparation that happens as a body begins to make the movement for something, and that's what he's listening for. And it is just like it is a ducking, as like to basically like like ducking to roll, and like trying to remember. A thing about James is that throughout high school, and it's a thing he doesn't talk about a lot, he did do gymnastics, and so he's a very like fit, limber guy. Even like he's maintained his physique throughout these years. However, you know, it's still been a bit. So he's like his mind's like, okay, how does that? I gotta tuck, move, and like to basically to tuck, roll, and like follow the momentum to get back up and get ready to like spring up and like grab the thing. So it is a ducking and rolling.
Yeah. So as you pull this Dark Souls roll towards the wall, you can feel ever so slightly something sharp and long scratch. Almost, you can feel the pressure against the back of the padding of the police vest that you stole. But it doesn't quite pierce, and you know if you weren't wearing it, maybe it would have caught you. But it slides off the back of you as you complete the roll and jump toward the wall. And as you connect with the wall, let's jump over to Honey. Honey, as you are standing in the doorway of the balcony, you hear Myriad say, "Honey, we have to jump."
Okay, fuck.
And you hear the wings unfurling behind you.
I take hold of Myriad, whatever. Is it like a little sheep or like a person?
Yeah,
now?
it's the little sheep at this point.
I just kind of grab a hold of it and just heap over the railing and jump.
Yeah, you jump over the railing, and as you fall, Myriad, excuse me, Myriad, sorry, Myriad points their head toward, like, you can see a manhole cover on the ground down below that has been pulled open, but you're going to fall a lot of stories before you get there, right? And Myriad is like, "We have to go through there. That's the way out." And as you are plummeting, I'm going to need you to make me a dex roll to see if you will roll before or after whatever it is flies behind you.
That's a 12 out of 14.
12 out of 14. Y'all are rolling good tonight. It's that finale energy flowing through the air. And so, as you are falling through the air, with Myriad in your arms, and you can feel all of the equipment that you've been carrying through the slumber this whole time materializing on your body again as you plummet through the air. What do you do in this action that you have before you hit the ground? Do you focus on falling faster, like a nosedive, or are you thinking doing something else?
I can't stop thinking about how it felt to be in the dream. As the inventory, the guns kind of materialize back onto my body. The things that were left on me during the robbery. I wonder what it would have been like if I did follow through. So rather than focusing on falling more gracefully or anything along those lines, whatever it looks like while falling down all of these stories, like I was doing back at the hotel, walking back but still double taking towards the door, I look behind me. Again, don't know how that works, physics, but...
So essentially you like kind of barrel roll your body over as you fall towards the ground, and you look up, and as you're spinning and you catch the glimpse of what follows you, you see a being with bat-like wings plummeting toward you, and as your mind tries to find familiar imagery to make sense of what it is that chases you, the wings unfurl and you see stained glass. And as they come back in for another flap, you then see the figure of this being be silhouetted by the sun way above them. And so all you see is this humanoid figure plummeting towards you, wings outfurled, reaching down towards you as if it wants to claw at you, as if it wants to keep you from leaving.
Thankfully, there's a sense of disdain, disgust, the pride of having destroyed this thing before. But she wonders if it had a new face, something even more akin to her form now. The wolf-like blonde ears, the teeth, the claws. She doesn't want the gargoyle. But it doesn't escape her that she could have fallen for something else, that she did fall for something else. And then she keeps falling.
So you focus on falling faster. And as you do, and you spin back toward the ground so you can make sure you're aiming straight towards that manhole, you can hear the floosh, whoosh of the wings getting closer, and you feel it grab and try to claw and grab at your ankles as you fall. It's going to make a roll. That, is going to be a 5 damage that would target your dex. But you have 3 hit protection, so that would take some of that. And were you one of the people that was wearing armor?
Nope.
So no. Yeah, that would go straight out of your hit protection. And then
so that
you
was
would lose
5.
2 of your... Yeah, you would lose 3 from your hit protection and then 2 from your dex as you continue to plummet toward the ground. And eventually... as you're getting closer and closer to the manhole cover, we fade to black and we cut to Layla Patel. Layla, as you are making your way out of the banquet hall, you see the eyes of people turning red as they let out their gasps of shock that you would turn down this fashion designer and head towards a baby sheep. And Myriad says, "We have to get out of here fast," and begins heading towards the front door. And as you are moving towards the front door, you can see that as these red eyes of people pass your vision as you head towards the door, you can hear the sounds of the bodies moving, of shoes squeaking, and you are going to need to make me a dex roll to try to see if you can act before the mob.
Alrighty. Let's see what we got. That's an 8 against an 11.
8 against an 11. And so as you begin to pick up your pace toward the door and all of your items begin to materialize on your body, you can hear the sounds of shoes squeaking. You can hear the sounds of bodies moving. You can hear that something is following you, but you can't quite tell unless you turn around. Either way, you have the door far off in the distance ahead of you, and Myriad points towards it as if that's the way that you need to escape.
How far away would you say this door is from Layla and Myriad?
From at this exact point, I would say probably think like this is like a really big banquet. So think like a full 50 yards away from you at this point, from how big this massive like ballroom is. And you can just hear people running after you.
Okay. I think what Layla would do, most likely, is she'd definitely run like full sprint towards that door. But I think while she's sort of doing that, after like she's like definitely like full sprinted for like a good like maybe, I don't know, however couple seconds, maybe like a solid like 10-15 seconds, she's gonna like skid to a stop and sort of lay her hands on the ground, her hands that have now recently become bloodied again thanks to her red-handed fallout table.
Yeah.
She's going to invoke that and activate the effect of her red-handed feat, which, if I remember correctly, lets her, like, essentially, with active effort, can make the blood actively flow from her hands, creating a slipping hazard.
Yeah. And so, wow, that one came back. Hell yeah. So, as you slide to your knees and your hands that have been bleeding nonstop since you encountered the supervisor, and it made you relive those moments of shame, those moments of the world turning against you, you're able to call upon that feeling right now. And what does it look like as you absolve yourself of the red-handedness?
As she's absolving herself of this red-handedness, she sort of... There's really only a few thoughts that goes through her mind. Obviously, she does focus on the shame, the anger that she felt as when she was dealing with all that scandal, the scorn, the, I guess, alienation from everyone in the modeling industry and the fashion world after that. But as she sort of thinks about that and just lets that anger flow through her, she's almost saying... She essentially just gives them like it's almost just like a metaphorical like flipping the bird, saying essentially, screw what you all think, I'll make my way back to you on my own merits, with my own fucking work. And you'll just have to fucking watch me do it, as she sort of just lets the blood pour from her hands in a torrential torrent, creating this gigantic like slippage area in front of her.
Yeah, and as you look behind you, you see the crowds of people, just like those models, linking arms like a human chain link, all following after you, with the nearest hand of that fashion designer reaching out toward you to complete the chain. And as they run, they're gonna have to make a dex save to see if the oil of the blood slick doesn't stop them. They rolled a natural 20, which means you watch as the chain tumbles between, stumbles and slips over the blood that you pour onto the ground behind you. And as you watch this chain domino effect falling into a pile of itself, you watch these people skid and fall into one another, and their flesh begins to fuse as they collide. The door is not too far away, but before you can go to it, let's jump back over to Tyler. Tyler, the barn that you are chasing is only like a little bit away at this point, and you can see the door is open, and Myriad is well, running as fast as Myriad can ahead of you. And you are chasing behind, and you know this demonic car is flying above you, and there's bodies now hanging out from the sides of the seats, dangling down, trying to claw at you. What do you do as you are fast approaching the barn? Oh, you are muted. You're muted.
I'm a professional. I've done this before. So I think that as he gets like clawed in the chest and has his body armor like ripped off, he reaches to his side and he pulls out the taser that he got from earlier, and he's gonna try and tase one of these claws that's like reaching down at him, to try and get it away from him.
Yeah. Go ahead, and I believe the taser's a D6.
Mm-hmm. And that is going to deal a whopping 1 point of damage.
You send electricity into this hand, and you watch this part of this body, like almost like watching a turtle's neck be sucked back into a shell. You watch it go back up towards the demon car, and the shadow below you has lost that body. As it recoils from the electricity surging through it. And you can see Myriad make it to the door and like headbutt the door really hard. And as they do, you can see golden light fill the inside of the door, if only they can get it open. And the creature above you, you see a second body come out of the other side of the car, and this one tries to grab at the back of your shirt, which isn't an attack, it's trying to grab onto you. So I'm going to have you make me a dexterity save.
Got a 9, and my dexterity, I believe, is a 12. That's 11. That's a
success. And so you can feel it grab onto the back of your shirt. What does it look like as you manage to peel away?
I think that he reaches and he grabs the red jacket that Honey got him, and he just immediately like rips it off really fast. And the creature is only able to take the jacket with him.
And you watch the shadow of the jacket be lifted towards the car, and be torn to shreds in the shadows behind you as you run towards the barn door. And we're going to jump over to Dr. James Dunnington. Dr. James, you made it to the wall. And as you are like climbing the wall, you can see that that there is you can see the ground below the wall, the gravel of a driveway from your neighbor's house, and you can see the exact path, the exact corner that you turned, and Myriad drops down on the other side of the wall, and as they go towards that same corner that you remember rounding, being chased by Myriad before, and Myriad sort of like you watch them headbutt nothing, but you see like a rip of gold tear through the space around the corner. You just need to make it around the corner, but you can hear whatever the fuck that is that's not your child chasing behind you, and you can feel its pincer like grabbing at the brick wall that you're trying to jump over now. And as you can feel it, what do you do?
I mean, right now, I think if I can just keep, like, really at this point, my only hope is to be faster than this thing. Because turning around to stop it, to stop and fight it, that's not really my jam. And also, that sounds way more dangerous than just running. So definitely, like, yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to push myself as hard as I can to just be faster. than this thing.
And so you drop down to the other side and you keep running towards the portal, and you were almost there. You were like 5 feet away from the portal, but it's right behind you. And it is going to, you can see from the trajectory of the sun and the sky, the shadow of this being, and you see long, bony legs, 4 of them on all 4s running behind you. And what would be the head, the shadow of a head, dangling down from the torso, and you're not quite sure what it would look like if you turned around, but I don't think you want to, do you?
I most certainly do not.
But it is going to attempt to make another attack. Give you a little parting gift. It is going to... Oh, this one is the one for this thing. Lucky you. It only rolled a 1.
Let's go! Undefeatable!
So, a 1 on a D8 is crazy.
It's
Literally.
media literacy.
You can feel this pincer of bone, this spire, come down, and you feel it cut your cheek. But you might be able to make it through. And before we can get to the answer of that, honey.
Yes.
You find yourself falling towards a manhole cover at the moment. And as you are doing so, you can still hear the beating of the gargoyle-esque creature's wings behind you. And you're almost there at the bottom. Do you continue to fall?
You asked me if I continue. Do I continue?
Yeah.
In this weird, loose dream space, could I ask Myriad a question?
Yes, you can.
Life isn't good for me out there. Are you sure this is worth that leaving this? I couldn't just leave and the rest of you. I couldn't just stay and the rest of you could go.
The others are going to try to deactivate the machine.
And then it would just all go anyway? Go back to normal?
Yes.
Why aren't we falling fucking faster?
Dream rules.
And I keep falling.
And so you continue to plummet, and you are going to eventually you fall straight through the hole of the manhole cover, and you can see Myriad just sort of yell out, "Myriad!" And you see a little portal open down on the ground. Instead of you landing on the concrete of the sewer walkway, you see this golden portal beginning to open up. You are almost there, but you feel something follow you down into the manhole cover. And once again, you feel claws ever so closely getting right next to your back. And it is going to attempt one more time to grab onto you. And this time it's trying to grab onto you rather than to just cut you.
Right.
So I'm going to have you make me a dexterity roll to see if you can avoid its grasp.
That's an 8 out of 12.
Hell yeah. You guys are rolling like crazy today. And so you feel it grab onto your clothes, trying to prevent you from falling any further. How is it that you manage to get out of its grasp so you can complete the fall?
I think, again, with dream rules, it's almost my back, the hairs on it, translating to the top of my clothes, just maneuvering my spine away animalistically, and then even turning as I am, like, still holding on to Myriad, and just this loud growl, dog-like, wolf-like, eyes shining, and the shadows sort of all around whatever the lighting of this fake street, and just scream in the gargoyle's face, "I'll kill you again."
And as you scream this in the gargoyle's face, we shift to Layla. Layla, you just oil slicked with your blood the entire banquet. And as you can see them over your shoulder, slowly merging into an amorphous blob of flesh, the door is right there. And all you have to do is get through it.
I think it's funny because as the domino chain of models, the model chain, I should say, falls due to the oil slick, Layla already has like a sassy like one-liner quip ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh wow, I can't believe you're already on your knees for me already. I guess I'm just that good. But then she starts to see that they start to like slowly morph together and fuse their flesh, and like, okay, think that's my cue to leave. And she turns to Myriad and is like, I think we should go now. Like, please.
Mm-hmm. And so you run over to the door, and Myriad is trying to push the door open, and you can hear the roiling flesh following behind you. And I assume you're trying to help open the door, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And so as you use your action to try to help open the door faster, and it is a heavy door, in a really unfortunate way that dreams work, as you try to pull the door open, and you can hear the of the flesh approaching you quickly, and you feel the warmth of this flesh approach, and a fleshy hand backed by no bone reaches out, and the muscles you can feel reaching toward your ankle. Go ahead and make me a strength save. Push the door open faster.
Alrighty. A 2 out of 7.
Holy shit! And so as you push the door open faster, you fall through the door. Layla, honey, you fall through the portal. Tyler, you make it through the barn door. And Dr. James Dunnington, you make it around the corner. And all four of you find yourselves in a bedroom together. All four of you. And as you all stand there together, you watch Myriad, all four Myriads celebrate seeing each other again. And you just hear, Myriad! As they jump back together and form back into the one person that you remember them being. And they go, we made it through. You all chose to escape. Thank you.
Nothing that they're worth having anyway.
I didn't do it for you.
Totally not worth Yeah.
I'm also rejecting this show of appreciation.
Well, I suppose it is a bit of an early showing, because we're still in one more. We're in Dr. Ritchson's dream now. And as you hear that, you hear a knock at the door of the bedroom that you're currently in.
I immediately look at James. I go, "It is Inception."
Is this really the fucking time?
No. He's right. This is Inception.
God, you both are such fucking nerds.
What is your deal, dog? What is your issue?
I already have
What are you, a
one
high
major-
schooler?
I already have one fucking nerd in my entire life. I do not need two others right
You're gonna
now.
meet a
Bro,
lot
you're-
of them for the rest of your life.
You're a grown-ass woman complaining about nerds. Do you hear
And
yourself?
you're a fucking college professor talking about anime. How fucking nerdy is that?
There
I'm
was a
gonna go
knock.
open the door.
You hear the knock one more time at the door.
Yeah, I go open the door.
And as you do, you see a woman, older woman, well, not too old, maybe about middle-aged, dark brown hair with maybe a few grays sticking out here and there. And Dr. James Dunnington, you remember when you all were in the library and you opened the book to the weatherman. This is the picture of the author that you saw in the back of the book. Allison Ritchson. And she goes, "Oh, you're my son's friends, right? You're here for dinner? We're already downstairs."
Friends is a weird word to use in this context.
And she sort of just like looks at you with a smile as if she doesn't see anything weird about that statement. And she goes, "Well, we'll be downstairs." And she gives you a smile and starts heading down the hallway.
I turn back to everybody else and I say, "So that was fucking weird, right?"
No, it tragically makes too much sense.
We just went through like a bunch of other like weirdly shit, and this is what you say is weird.
Yeah, I've never been shown genuine affection by a maternal figure, so.
Oh. Okay.
I'm gonna refrain from saying a comment on that.
Understood. No, this, honestly, of everything that we've seen, makes the most sense. He just, like, misses his mom, which is understandable. I don't know if it's worth damning the entirety of humanity to a nightmare.
I miss my
elsewhere.
mom too. I'm not gonna make a nightmare machine about it.
Exactly. See, that's the deal. And I before we, he's gonna try to convince us again. He might do the violence. The biggest thing is if we are going into this with the plan not of just killing him and moving on, we're gonna have to convince him that he needs to get over his dead mom.
I'm sorry, did we
mean-
land on killing him as the plan?
I mean, if it's the most
We have one of two
expedient,
options.
if it's the most expedient,
I mean, there is also therapy.
There is therapy. It's not
And-
him I don't trust. It's kind of him I don't trust. It is that he did do this whole thing once and could do this whole thing again, and or be forced to do this whole thing again by the company that had him do it the first
We
time.
have to kill him.
my thoughts
All right,
exactly.
Honey says we gotta kill him, so I guess we're killing him.
It was that easy for you. It was that easy for you to throw away
Hey,
human life.
Listen,
Remember that.
you. He has a set of skills. He has a scientific theorem, whatever. He has all of the abilities, capabilities, whatever they've gotten, even on paperwork, on his computer, whatever. Anything that they could potentially do to mimic this in someone else's hands. If it's not from the original guy, he just might try to start it all over again.
Exactly. It's like Honey said. He did it once, so he could do it again.
While I'm loath to agree with the simp over there, he does make a good point.
Do they even does
He
even
made the
mix?
same point I just made. You know what?
You were
Fuck it. No,
advocating.
fuck it.
You were advocating for therapy. We were advocating for killing him.
No, I wasn't.
Two separate points. Sounded like you were advocating for therapy.
Okay, no, I get it. No one wants to listen to me. That's fine. You don't have to listen to me. Do whatever the fuck you want. Let him live. Do whatever. Kill him. Do whatever. I don't care anymore. Just do what you're gonna do. And I go downstairs.
You haven't really cared since the beginning anyway, let's be honest here.
Why don't you just
I've
talk to him?
left. I've gone
Okay,
downstairs.
I start running. I start running down after you and start yelling. Why don't you talk to him, and then we'll follow your lead. If you're
I'm
convinced
not
this can
responding
work,
to you. You can talk all you want. I'm not talking.
I'm talking all around you. Like
That's fine. You can continue
your
to do this,
left.
but I want you to know at the end of the day, you're going to have to decide what's going on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think Layla's gonna hang back with Tyler and just be like, so you're down bad for her, aren't you?
Egregious, actually. Yeah. Also, do you want a cigarette, by the way?
I don't smoke. Fuck cigarettes.
Sorry.
I have a feeling your dreams are going to be weird after this.
They're always weird. I've seen
Bold
some
of you
shit.
assume- bold of you to assume they weren't already weird, trust me. Go on some high-ass drugs and ooh, you see some really fucked up shit.
Where do you get those?
As if I fucking tell you, fuck that.
And as you all have these conversations, eventually you make it down to the dining room of Ritchson's dream house. And as you do, you see not only his mother sitting at the table, you see a you see the bald white man who Tyler, you shot in the face. You see another woman, younger, probably closer to Dr. Ritchson's age, sitting right next to him at the table. And you see a bunch of empty seats on the opposite side of the table. And as you walk in, Dr. Ritchson, still handcuffed, sits at their table. And they go, "Glad you all joined me. Not too glad about the circumstances."
Do you have a really old cat that you also miss?
Yeah. Everyone you see and hear in this room is dead. And I couldn't do anything about it.
Mr. Snuggles.
This isn't a fair world, Earth. It's one where the rich get everything they want, everything they dream of, and everyone below that plagued in never-ending nightmares. I've decided it's my turn. I gave you all your chance. You all didn't see it. You didn't see what I saw. So I guess this is it. I'm not a fighter. I'm an intellectual. Do with me what you must.
I have a question.
Ask away. And he gestures to his hands still being cuffed.
Again, how did the four of us, previously Harlan, come to be awake in all of this? Was that just some fuck up in your design, or were we always supposed to be a part of it?
Anomalies happen. At the end of the day, I designed the machine, give an option to people who want something so powerfully in their heart that they can't have. I guess I miscalculated and got further than this building. Mr. Vale, long friend of mine, and a few other scientists that, well, they all got cold feet at the last minute. I overestimated how powerful their desire was. So, yeah, there's anomalies. You're an anomaly, you're an accident. But you're here. You fought your way here, that means something, right? What do you want that brought you here? Why fight for all these people that probably couldn't pick your face out of a crowd once they all wake up?
I mean, we're part of that. So, like, we don't have to care about the outside world to have a sense of self-preservation. Am I off base there? Does that track with everybody else here?
Honey does find herself to be a little more quiet, a little bit more introspective.
You see Dr. Ritchson bring their hands up to the table and take a glass of water and bring it to their lips. And they take a sip and go, "Everything up here is real. This is a form of reality. It's not ours, but it is one. You can have the reality you want." He looks at each and every one of you. And then he goes, "Well, any thoughts?"
James turns to just like looking between each of the three of them, just like, what are you all gonna do?
Layla's gonna look back at him like, what do you want to do?
I don't think that ever has mattered here.
Tyler, you're gonna say something?
I think that Tyler looks at Ritchson and he's like, "You seem like very nonchalant about the possibility that we could just kill you."
My hands are already cuffed.
Well, yeah, but like a normal person would like be pleading for their life at this point.
Well, one way or another, the life I used to know ends here tonight. You can either let me sit here in peace, or you can send me home. And he gestures to all of his deceased friends and family that sit at the table. What's another tragedy?
Oh, don't give me that shit. Don't come at me like, oh, poor pitiful me, bad shit happened to me, and so I had to fucking make a fucking nightmare machine so I could sit in my dreams all day because I miss people. We all miss people, okay? Every single person at this table has had some horrible shit happen to them. You don't see them go. And he like looks to Honey. You don't see all of them going on like murder sprees, do you?
I didn't go on a murder spree.
Yeah, but what is the inevitable conclusion when you have nightmares running around the streets? I woke up to a burning building filled with people that I could do nothing to save. There's gonna be side effects. There's gonna be casualties, and you might think, oh, those are just anomalies. Those are just mistakes. They're not just mistakes. They're people's lives, and you can't just play around nonchalantly when it comes to people's lives.
People die every day. Millions of people die every day, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing any of us can do about it. We're
We
just
can
cogs
try.
in a fucking system, and there's nothing else we can fucking do. Everyone is either asleep or too afraid to do anything. I'm done playing the fucking game. I just want my peace.
At the sake of
Fuck everyone else.
Ah, there it is. You're just a selfish child. And that's all this has ever been. You're upset. You didn't get what you want. So you're going to make a magical world where you never need to grow or change. You just get exactly what you want. Fuck everyone else. And that's fine if that's the way you want to be it. As long as you're acknowledging that you're a bad person for it.
Dreams don't judge.
Exactly. So you don't have to think about anything that you do.
Exactly.
As long as we're on the same page. And then I turn to look at the three people here.
How do we turn the machine off before you go?
You want me to tell you how to turn the machine off?
Yeah.
Find it your fucking selves.
At this point,
And he sits back in his chair, hands on top of the table, with the handcuffs still on. And just waits for any response.
Tyler leans over to Honey and says, hey, I dropped my gun earlier. Can I borrow yours?
I think I got this.
I think I do.
What do you mean?
I have an idea.
I pass the pistol from the cop to Tyler.
And Tyler takes it, and he looks back at Ritchson, and he says, if this dream is so perfect that you can run from reality into it, then I guess the only choice that we have is to mess up your dream. And I'm gonna shoot the bald guy in the head again.
What the fuck? And you watch Vale once again, bullet fly through their head, land face first in the meal on the table. And you watch the doctor's face twist and contort for a moment, and their fists clench. Why the fuck would you do that?
Would you care? It's not real.
It is real.
Is it? And he shoots his mom.
Stop! Why the fuck?
But because none of this matters, right? Isn't that your whole thing? Like, everything's fake, none of it matters? Where's that cat?
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
And as you continue the wanton murder, the doctor clenches his fist and goes, "What the fuck do you want from me?"
Wait, we made that pretty fucking clear. Tell us to turn the machine off.
You can't let me have this.
I'm sorry you don't get to play with your toys anymore. It's kind of fucking up everybody else's life.
Fine. And as he looks back up, you can see almost like the light has kind of left his eyes. And he stands up from the table and trying his best to move his hands with the cuffs still on, unhooks his lapel and holds out his key card, both hands forward, and goes, "Upstairs in the chairman's office, there's a lever that leads to the rooftop. The machine is up there. The button is the yellow one. Circular. Front right."
I take the key card. I give the gun back to Honey. And I say, that wasn't so hard, was it?
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Oh, knew it.
That is a 15. My dexterity is an 11.
Damn it.
And so you fail. As you turn to go say, that was easy, to Honey, you feel the chain of the handcuffs go around your throat as he pulls you into a hold and pulls you close to him as he can. And now we're in a hostage situation. All of you can see that Dr. Ritchson holds Tyler in a chokehold in front of the entirety of this room that's still left alive. You're all gonna let me go, or I'll snap their neck. I don't want to do this.
We all have guns.
Are you gonna shoot him?
I turn to look questioningly at Honey, who definitely would.
I think where Honey is positioned, she was standing next to Tyler, so I don't imagine she's in the best position. So she's looking over to James and Layla to see where their urgency is as well.
I think upon seeing the handcuff chains come across Tyler's neck and sort of get him into that hold, I think Layla would have immediately drawn her pistol just to get in that situation. So she definitely would have her pistol drawn at Ritchson, or Tyler and Ritchson, depending on however he's holding him.
I think James is like still like a little bit in shock over it, and just is very still and like mind racing with what it would take to like what would it take, right? Like none of us are really in a great position to fire without potentially hitting Tyler. There's a thought that goes across of like maybe we need to disarm him, like and like mentally in a way to like create an opening. And then he's like, what can I say? What can I even say to like kind of confuse him in this moment? And
Oh no.
I'm sorry. This
Hold on. Now I need to know.
like it's like he's like, what can I say? What can I say that could like confuse him so much in this moment that maybe someone could do something, and he just kind of grips the table for a bit, turns to look up and just kind of shouts, well, socks on knocks and knocks and box.
There was no
Fuck.
Just
Socks
There is
on knocks
no
and box and fox.
Not
And like
Dr.
slowly just
Seuss.
starts to get up, like but like trying to be like saying like he's saying something, but fully is just speaking in Dr. Seuss.
Is this a house episode?
what?
So here's the thing.
He's a doctor.
Here's the thing. With how high the tensions are, and with this strange subversion tactic, and the dead loved ones of, the dream facsimiles of dead loved ones behind them, I made a control roll for Dr. Ritchson. They rolled an 8. Dr. Ritchson, at this point in time, only had a 4 in control.
No shot.
Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go.
Dr. Ritchson is thoroughly thrown off his game by the sudden recitation of Dr. Seuss at the table. Of the deaths of their loved ones, and you feel their grip loosen on you, Tyler. What do you do?
I think that he is going to bend his knees slightly so that he can get under the center of gravity and just kind of just try and judo flip him over onto the table.
And he falls onto the table. You feel the table, you watch the table shake and give a little under his weight, as it was not meant to support this much weight. And go ahead and roll me. He was unprepared for that, so I guess roll enhanced D12 damage.
Damn. Well, I would also add, and this could maybe explain the enhanced damage. I'm imagining that this is like it was a dinner table that was fully set, right?
Yeah, it was fully set.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm
There's-
gonna grab a knife off the table too.
All right.
And that is 3 damage as I like throw him on the table and then pick up a knife real quick and hold it to his throat.
Yeah, and as he's there with the knife on his throat, he just says, just fucking do it. You got what you want.
I kind of look up at the rest of everybody.
And you
And-
see Myriad has like drawn a circle in the wall as the exit from this dreamscape back to the hallway that you saw before.
I look to everybody else to kind of see and kind of gauge what I can tell by their faces or whatever they might say, what they think I should do.
do it.
James gives us like a cautious nod.
After a bit, I think Layla, because I think Layla would sort of tell him, part of me does want to make him just live so he can just witness all of his plans come to ruin, but they can just remake it over again and that'll be the whole thing all over again. Just fucking do it.
And seeing everybody tell him to kill this man, I think Tyler, like, is kind of overwhelmed with the idea of, okay, well, now I actually am thinking about it. Earlier, I didn't think about it till after I already did it. Now I'm thinking about it for too long. But I think that his mind goes, like, to his sister and to the state that he found her in. And I think that he realizes that this is a man who has the power to hurt a lot of people with just his words and just his command of them, and that makes him think of the person who hurt his mother, and he just thinks to himself, never again, as he pulls the knife.
And as you pull the knife, he looks directly up at you, and as he sees you tense the hand around the knife, he closes his eyes and he lets it happen. All that's left for you all to do is head up to the roof and flip the switch. As he bleeds out on this table, you watch the room slowly warp back into a regular, minimalist, cold corporate residency.
Well, I guess there's just one thing left to do.
I go over to Tyler and, like, with no words, I hug him.
Tyler, like, you can feel like his whole body become like rigid under your hug, as if like he just is both just incredibly traumatized by the moment and also just doesn't really know how to receive this. And like his arms kind of just stay at his sides, and you can kind of feel his hands like tensing, opening and close.
And I think after like a long moment, just like under his breath in Tyler's ear says, "You did a good job, kid." I know that couldn't have been easy.
None of this makes any fucking sense.
I know. Life never does.
Honey.
And then like, oh, sorry.
No, please.
And then like separates, but like still has like hands on Tyler's shoulders. But you made it through, and that's what matters.
You did too.
We did. We all did. And turns to look at everyone else.
Honey, Layla, how are you two feeling?
I think with like, it's definitely a strange feeling, the culmination of Honey and James's like, not claim on Tyler, but stake. There's like a weird feeling that she has just like looking at them hug, like that there is a family being created right before her very eyes, and she just sort of like rolls her eyes over to Layla. It gets easier to kill. I know the first time's a big deal. But just so you know.
Hopefully you'll never have to do it again.
Well, some of us in our lives before all of this will most likely still continue.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I will say I've never had to physically kill anyone. Socially, on the other hand... And she just sort of leaves it at that.
I'm telling you, you can stay in this fucked up life that is so concerned about things that the world cares about in your weight. I think we can all have way more fun, way more life, real life even, just on the road.
As murderers and thieves.
It
Is
can
what you-
mostly be thieves. You don't have to
As we should
kill.
probably turn the nightmare machine off.
I agree.
That is true. We should put an end to this all.
I guess we'll
Yeah,
probably
we
never
could,
see you again, Myriad.
No. No, you won't. Well, maybe in your dreams if you remember.
And just when I was finally starting to like you.
Well, I liked you from the very beginning.
Thanks
I actually
for
liked you more in the beginning, and then it went down from there.
Oh. Well, I guess I should give this back to you all. And you see Myriad reach down into their wool and pull out the gun.
Actually,
Keep
Myriad,
it.
I think you should keep that.
Keep that, yeah.
Just in case the gargoyle tries to, like,
Come after you again.
kidnap you again. Yeah.
Thank you. I've never had a token of the waking world.
Hey, stay strapped or get clapped.
What does that mean?
What?
I don't know.
No,
It just sounds
we're,
cool.
we're just
No, we're not. Just
riding
stop,
right
just stop.
past.
And as
Stop.
as you all have this moment, time passes, and eventually we see you all on the rooftop, looking over the entire city, drenched in mist and fog, and you can see fires of buildings that have been set alight from uncooked dinners, well, overcooked dinners at this point. It's chaos, but you can bring an end to it now. Who's gonna press the button that wakes everyone up?
Doctor, I insist.
Okay. Sure. I don't care who does it. If it's me, I'll do it. I don't care. I want it done. And I go and I flip the switch.
And as you do, you watch the fog clear. And as the fog clears, you can see, finally, the sun rising on the horizon. You can see that there are helicopters off in the distance that were like filming the city from afar. And you can see the blue of the clouds, the blue of the sky and the clouds peeking through. And you watch as Myriad waves at you all one last time, gives you a smile, and then takes a step over the railing. And as they do, they dissipate into golden energy. And you know that eventually you'll see them in your dreams. But for now, that's the end of the slumber. What do you think you all do with the rest of your lives? Because in the months that follow, everyone has questions about what happened in Crescent Valley City. and there weren't very many people awake, and you all saw so much. Do any of you go forward? Do any of you drop off the grid? What kinds of lifestyles do each of you live in the aftermath? I would love to start with Honey.
And I think we must, honestly, just because Honey, she knows she's going to get a lot of attention. She knows that all of us people will be grabbing us for questions and things like that, but Honey is not here for that type of life. She does go off the grid to claim a new name at some point. But she does pose it to Tyler and Layla. But just before leaving, just before, potentially running back into an alleyway. Does anyone want to come with me?
I think that Tyler is looking over the edge of the building, and he's kind of looking at the city below, and he sees, I imagine, a lot of people who were asleep in the building pouring out of the building, looking around trying to figure out what was going on as they start to wake up. And he sees from a long distance away Harper, and he thinks about going to meet her, and then he thinks that if she wanted to see him, she would have come and found him by now. And he slowly steps back from the ledge and takes a big sigh, and he looks at Honey and he says, got nowhere else to go.
Takes Tyler by the hand and then looks over at Layla and James.
I'll let you go first.
I think there's just the weight of the inevitability of this is so much to a degree that it's how does one fight the ocean? And I think just looks to Tyler in the most sad dad way possible of you're gonna make your own decisions, but come.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
I'm just disappointed. And there's a part of me that knows I'll never see him again, and there's a non-zero chance that he dies within the next year, but you can't do anything about that, I can't force him to make a different decision. I just met him tonight, and digging into the deepest parts of himself to see if there's any combination of words he could think that would do anything in this moment. And the only ones he can find are, I hope you stay safe out there.
Thanks. And with the unfortunately the dismissive thanks that a 20-something gives to their parent.
And as you two share this moment, that leaves us with Layla. Are you gonna go with Honey?
It's a really interesting question to ask, honestly, because Layla has seen both the ups and the downs of her modeling career. She's seen other models go through this type of situation, falling from grace so hard that they almost never get a chance to come back up, no matter how hard they work. And it does give Layla food for thought, given all that she and Honey have discussed throughout this whole horrifying misadventure together.
I think Honey just says, as like you're thinking, like, you can't go back. None of us can ever go back. We've seen so much. Disappearing is the best course of action, honestly, even just to reinvent yourself.
She sort of takes your words into heart. But it's funny, as she's looking at you, Honey, you see her eyes flit to the side, as if she's looking at someone else next to you. A man who you don't see, since he's not really there. At least, not in reality. Well-dressed man, surgeon, her fan. Someone who always encouraged her to be that top model who he knew she could be. Who he knew she was. It's a hard proposition for her to take, honestly. Do I stay or do I go? I'm half debating rolling a control check to make Layla...
Do it!
Go ahead, do it. Final roll of the game.
If she does succeed, I'll let you know she will stay as a model. If she fails, she'll go with Honey.
What's your control right now? It's 10.
It's 10. It
Yeah,
is
so it's
explicitly half.
This is a 50-50 shot.
It isn't exactly a 50-50 shot.
Dear Satan, let it happen.
Honey is
The worst
such an instigator.
possible outcome for
Literally just us leaving James by himself.
like, wow, you're all choosing to go be murderous thieves.
Criminals.
Okay, why?
I never said anything about murder.
Okay, we know Honey.
I rolled an 8 out of 10.
Oh,
That's a success.
It is a success. So I think Layla, seeing Harlan and seeing Honey both together, she'll sort of sigh, and she will look at Honey, give that same cocksure smirk that Layla Patel is known for having. Not just Layla Patel, the survivor of this nightmare. No, this is Layla Patel, the top model. And she'll walk over to Honey. Sort of, brush by her. And hand her a card. It is a business card with Layla's information on it. My offer's still open, by the way. If you're ever in town and you ever want to try the legal high life, shall we say. Hit me up for a model shoot. I'd love to have you.
I really doubt it, but you do make it look good.
Oh, don't I know it?
And then
And trust me when I say you'll make it look good too, but I owe it to someone to get back up there.
I think the last thing for Honey before she takes Tyler off to being off the grid living a life of criminality as we sort of like disappear into alleys, I think I do go to a payphone and I'm gonna call Roscoe's mom, who I've probably have known since childhood. And I just say like, sorry, he's gone.
And you just hear a "thank you for telling me" on the other hand.
I'll never see you again, but thanks for everything. And then I hang up, and then we go.
And so, Tyler and Honey ride off on the sunset and go off the grid as the rest of the world looks for more information on what happened with the Slumber. Layla Patel returns to a life of modeling. And Dr. James Dunnington, you return to being a college professor, correct?
Yeah.
And the world continues to obsess over this new phenomenon, as all of you from your new lives and old ones that you've returned to watch the world tick on, watch people wake up, and watch the world continue to change, hopefully for the better. Sweet dreams, everyone. That's the end of Slumber.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We did it.
We did
We made it. I guess we have. Oh, I forgot to do the announcements earlier.
Perfect.
Bad House RPG events. Need to catch up on Slumber. Catch the live when the well, we're done now, but the VODs hit YouTube on Mondays. We are behind on one episode, but episode 7 is available, and the finale of Midnight Rush, episode 15, just streamed yesterday. The VOD and podcast go live on Friday. I am Oleander, they, them, stray nerd boy on a lot of things. Me and Joe are in Ghosts Underground from Secret Nerd Podcast. So check that out. I'm gonna throw it over to Josephine.
Hello, I am Josephine at Scary Dog Friend. I have been Harlan Yoon as well as Honey. Just like Olander said, we are both on Secret Nerd Podcast. A new The Corrupted show is rolling out called Ghosts Underground, where I am storytelling that one. We have lots of projects coming on. Bad House RPG coming through during the summer and fall. So we will be taking a couple weeks of just like a break from production as we have wrapped up Midnight Rush as well as Slumber. You can also find me on Fridays over at the Mandy playing Cursive Sapphics and all Sapphic player character cast of people playing Cursive Strahd using Pathfinder 2e. And I'm just sort of all over the place. My Blue Sky and Twitch and YouTube are all under Scary Dog Friend if you want to find out what I'm doing. I'll pass it over to Abhishek.
Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Matange, he, him pronouns. I have been playing the lovely, fantastic, perfect Layla Patel. You can find me at neon_Raiden or some form of that on most social media sites, X, Blue Sky. You can also find me on Instagram at Abhishek Matange_VO. I'm a voice actor who loves talking about all things Tokusatsu, really. So Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, whatever it may be, honestly. I have a few projects coming up that I will definitely share more details of as they come out. So definitely check my socials for that as we get closer to the future. Might be on a Bad House RPG production project sometime soon. Maybe not. Stay tuned for that. I'll pass it over to Sean.
Hey everybody, my name is Sean, he, him pronouns. You can find me on Blue Sky mostly, but also on TikTok at HighGainSad. We actually, I have a thing. So on May 11th, we will be bringing back our Marvel Multiverse game to Imagination Arcade. So if you want to see, check that out, you can go to twitch.tv/ImaginationArcade. It's going to be Sundays at 5 p.m. The last arc we did ended with one of the players stealing All Black the Necrosword from Newell, and so looks like we're going to have a lot of consequences for that. Yeah, stay tuned to see how that shakes out, and you can also watch season 1 on youtube.com/imagination_arcade, I believe. But yeah, that's the big thing I've got going on right now, and I'll throw it over to Kendo.
Hey everybody, my name is Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer. You can find me everywhere on the internet that matters at Kendo Makes Films. And you can find, if you like horror, and especially the weird kind, you can check out my actual play, Tales Yet Told, where we play a wide variety of indie TTRPGs, telling stories at the intersection of queerness and horror. We are actually currently in the middle of doing rerun streams of our first season, Strangers in the Wood, which you can usually find either on Saturdays or I think the other day that I'm doing them are on Wednesdays. I just did one earlier today. And you can listen to our first season that took place almost 4 years ago, as we get ready for the second season of that series, Strangers in the Wood. But we also have a bunch of other stuff. If you like weird fantasy, dark fantasy pirates, if you like creepy radio shows, if you like zombie horror or Cheers, we've got a lot of really weird out there stories. So you can go find us wherever you get your podcasts at. It's called Tales Yet Told, and you can also find us anywhere on the internet that matters at Tales Yet Told. Is there anything else that I have coming up? Yes, maybe. I'm in a bunch of one shots that are going to be announced like relatively soon. So just go check out my social media for that. And also keep an eye on, there's a new Kickstarter that just came out for Galactic and Going Rogue by Riley Rethal and Jess, and I may or may not have something to do with parts of what's going on with that, so go check that out. It genuinely was a dream come true to be able to do something for it, so go check it out. And with that, I'm going to pass it right back on over to Joe.
Let's roll the final winner, folks. Quintastic, you are the winner of 6 physical official modules of Liminal Horror. You will be getting your email at some point to get your personal information, and that's it. That's Slumber.
Sweet dreams, everyone.
Sheep dreams.
Have a good night.
Dreams. And
Sheep
don't
dreams.
forget,
Thank you for joining us for all 8 episodes. It's been lovely.
Let's do a talkback later.
Fox and Sock. Fox
Tots and
Back
socks
right now.
and
Fox and
chicks
socks.
with bricks and flicks.
Chicks with bricks come.
Dick,
Chicks with
dick.
pots come. Chicks with
Rick
bricks
Duff
and
about
pots and
dicks
pots
with dicks
come.
and
All
dicks.
right, goodbye.